right. Welcome to episode 4 of Bias Football Takes. I'm your resident Arsenal fan, Obina, and with me I have Sheung. Actually, you should introduce yourself, Joe. Why am I introducing you?
The best and the good side, the most knowledgeable football co-host, the other half of this podcast.
Um, Whatever, Mister Best Half or Better Half. So today we have a packed episode. I think you'll find it very informative, and it'll go based on the following outline. So we will quickly review Arsenal and City's FA Cup fourth round clash. Then we will talk about a team that has been punching well above its weight, although it has a potential to even do uh, much better considering the backing that it has. That's the team of Newcastle. And then we have a special guest in the house, Ayotunde, to discuss sports business. Ayotunde and I go way back. We've been friends since primary school, quite literally. So, that should be an informative session. And we'll talk about the worst team of the week. Even though there were no Premier League games, there were FA Cup matches. So we'll talk and play. There were other games in other leagues. So we'll just talk about individual performances. And then this coming weekend, there are a bunch of games. So we'll do predictions. And that'll be the show. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy this episode of the Bias Football Takes podcast. So jumping right in, Chill, I'm sure you were happy. I'm sure you were happy.
So no Saka, no party. Is that what you are telling me?
No, so here's the thing. Playing against City, I don't. You probably watched the game. Anyone who watched that match will tell you that in the first of all, we had 6 changes to our first 11. Anyone who watched that game will tell you that Arsenal was the better team on the day. It's just unfortunately when Sambi came on for Partey, it kind of like threw off our setup. But yeah, I'm actually okay with that. The fact that we're no longer in FA Cup, honestly speaking. What do you have to say about that now?
I've always said it that football is not about who passes the ball the most, who has the most shot on target, who has the best or highest number of take-ons, successful take-ons. In the end, the ball needs to go into the nets, and the team that scores the most goals wins the game. I've told you many times that in the past, United has played Arsenal, and we've not had a lot of the ball, and we've beaten Arsenal. The same way Chelsea used to beat Arsenal when Drogba was there. It's the same thing City did. They did mature football. Do what they're running around, do whatever. All Pep needed to do was just to put one player on Saka, and that was it. And that was the end of the game. You guys had absolutely no idea what to do with the ball. We're just passing the ball around.
I disagree. I disagree with that. No, I mean, look, no. So first of all, you can see that we're doing something. We're doing a bunch of things right. 1, 2. Honestly speaking, I don't think Arteta decided that okay, we have to beat City because we have so much riding on this. No, there are more things at play. There are more things to fight for, and so February 15th, if City beats us, then I'll be like, okay. But as far as I'm concerned, Arteta is, and rightly so, is focused on that, on the Premier League, the 2 Premier League matches we have against City, because if and when being underlined, when we beat City on the 15th of February, we'll be 8 points clear, and that it will take a lot of, it will take us practically throwing the league away for them to catch up. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm fine with this result.
So are you telling me that Arteta called you on the phone, or he wrote you an email stating, "Oh, we're about to throw this game.
No,
we don't want to win."
He didn't have to write me.
Story.
He didn't have to write me. The fact was the fact that he changed his starting 11 the way he did shows that he didn't have he didn't have a whole lot riding on it. Like for him, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll go and play. Because remember when he won the FA Cup season, first half of the half of the season that he was here for, that he just joined the team. Sorry, he played the strongest possible 11 he could play, and we beat City. So it's not like, I mean, if the FA Cup was a priority, he would have taken it as serious as the occasion demanded. But right now, man, it's you people that don't have prospects that will be fighting for FA Cup and Carabao. Like, you don't have prospects, so
So are you telling me
every
that wait? So are you telling me that you guys have won the league now? So you don't care about that
no,
small,
no. I
seeming
haven't said
in quotes, in
no, no.
quotes.
First of all, we're playing for something bigger. So it's one game at a time, right? And that's what we're doing. But in order for us to secure to win that game at a time, or the one game at a time, we have to have our players fit. We have to come into the game with the right mentality, the right fitness, and these other competitions can derail that effort.
So
Yeah,
you may mention that they removed Partey, right?
yeah,
Why
yeah.
is it that every time Arsenal loses, and it just so happens that Partey is not involved, you guys always use Partey
It's not an
as the
excuse.
excuse? It's always an
No.
excuse every
Mm-mm,
time,
mm-mm.
every time.
No, no, no,
The,
no.
the 3 games you guys have lost this season, Partey did not play, and you guys always use that excuse to say, "Oh,
Excuse me. We haven't lost. Do you mean the league? Because we only lost one game.
you
So
guys lost. You lost in Carling Cup.
no, no, no.
Remember?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. In the league, again, for all intents and purposes, other competitions are not as. It's for you people who are looking for trophies. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I will enjoy?
What?
Arsenal not winning anything this season. And we'll come back to this episode. Let's move
No
on.
problem. No
Next,
problem.
let's
But
talk about Newcastle. Let's talk about
But
Newcastle.
yeah, so I mean, quickly summarize that. I mean, congratulations to City. They move on in the FA Cup, but they might have won this battle, but the war keeps going on. So
Mm.
now Newcastle, they are they are third in the league now, and they are in the final of the Carabao Cup, and they are playing really exciting football. Like, Eddie Howe has completely changed the team. Changed the team. This guy isn't even starting anymore. Saint Maximin, um, Joelinton is now who. I mean, when they bought him, he was supposed to be a striker. Now he's playing in the midfield, and he's like really, really bossing midfield. Like the guy, and he's adding goals as well. Almiron is, I mean, Jack Grealish is probably like, very, very apologetic for the comments that he made. He's probably regretting those comments. And they haven't even started flexing their financial muscle.
Mm.
So, like, I think the league is they're going to be competing, for trophies and major positions for years to come. What do you think?
So I was speaking with Ayotunde, like I think 2 weeks ago or last week, about how they've been playing this season and how I feel personally. This is my personal opinion. I feel there's still more to come from them.
Mm-hmm.
They still have a lot of potential, but that I think that mindset, that philosophy or the culture in the club needs to be broken for them to explode because
What
they
what
have.
what philosophy? What mindset?
I mean, like, you know how teams are comfortable with, oh, we just want to just, not relegate. We're okay with finishing with 40 points in the season. We don't mind losing. So all those things come to play when you're trying to like become a big club or join or sit with the big boys. You need to break that mindset where when you lose a game, you are angry with yourself. We're like, this is not what we are about. We need to win all the games as best as we can. If it happens that we lose a game that we've put in all, we put in all our efforts or we put the blood on the field, then it's okay. So I feel so. With that said, Newcastle, I expected them to play this way this season, but I kind
You
of
did?
feel yes, I did. I've always
United fan. How
no,
can you
wait, wait,
say
no,
you
wait, wait. I'm
expect?
telling you facts. Relax. Ayatollah is on this call or is on this podcast. I said this from last season because they've not from middle of last season they barely lost games. So I've been saying that Newcastle is coming. because of their buys and the way their manager is putting everything into play. But right now, this is my personal opinion. I kind of feel in the league they've peaked, they've plateaued. I feel that they've gotten to where they can get. This is the highest it can be. But I'm expecting surprises, but I feel they got to that peak. My main concern, which I feel, is that Newcastle will be United's problems this season because we are facing them in the FA Cup final, and I feel they'll be the reason why. They
In
might be the
Carabao
reason
Cup
why.
final.
Sorry, Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
They might be the reason why. No, the top four might be between both of us.
Oh,
So I
so
feel
that's what I wanted to ask you. So, because you said that you feel like they've plateaued. So, when you say that, you mean you don't think they'll challenge for the league, but they'll be in the top four conversations. Is that what you're saying?
yes, definitely,
I mean, that's a
definitely.
no. But I mean, like that's a huge achievement now. Them competing for top four, considering the fact that teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham are there, and they finish well ahead of them. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's guys. You know, top four is one of the. I don't know that many big teams in other leagues will come in and be able to make top four in England.
Yeah, so I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, with what they are trying to achieve, forget about what they've done in the past. But I'm saying right now, they want to make top four, and I'm sure they want to win the league, irrespective of what has
Uh,
happened
I
two,
don't think
two
they want
seasons
to. I
ago.
don't think they want to win the league.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
think
I
that.
mean, I mean, I mean, not now, not this season. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
their
In the
projects,
future, yeah.
yes, will be like, okay, in the next 3 seasons, we want to be consistent in the top four, and maybe in 5 years, we want to win the league. So
And you're
there's
saying
like,
that you don't see that happening. Is that what you're saying?
no, I see that happening. I'm saying
Oh,
right
okay.
now, this season, like as we speak right now, I
Oh, yeah.
feel they've peaked. Next season, they might get shaken up, they might get a new manager, but I think Eddie is doing really well. So that's
I
my
think,
I kind of feel that right now they are a problem for United make it top four.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I think that they'll finish ahead of United this season. I can comfortably say that, and that's
Mm-mm,
my bias take for today.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
In fact, but they won't be able to catch Arsenal, obviously, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay
mm.
with that. Yeah. No, it's a. I actually, in fact, before there how like Saturday mornings, at least for my speaking about myself, obviously I look out to see when Arsenal is playing, and then obviously the other like big six teams, so Tottenham, Liverpool, just to see how the enemy is performing, not necessarily because I want to be entertained, but just so I know what's happening. And then there are other teams that they catch my. At least this is prior to this podcast, because now I guess we have to do journalistic for journalistic integrity. We have to watch games, but so we know what we're talking about. But I I actually catch myself watching a lot more Newcastle games and Brighton games. Those two
Mm-hmm.
teams have definitely caught my eyes, and then Brentford actually to some degree because they play very attractive football, and I like what their coach is trying to do. So
I was up to maybe 2 games ago or 2 EPL games ago. I was a Newcastle fan because I was like, oh, these people are getting serious. They can punch Arsenal, but I feel like they've gotten to their peak and they're going to come down.
that's
Anyways, let's
yeah.
let's let's get to what our today is about. We want to talk about sport business and decided to bring an expert in the house, in-house expert. He's not going to agree as an expert, but I'm going to bring our in-house expert. Welcome to today's episode. Ayotunde Adenaike. Clap.
Yo,
Open a
thanks
clap.
for.
Open a clap. Because there are two United fans on this episode, so clap.
For the first time, right? This is the first time that you guys are having two United fans.
I feel like I'm being ambushed, but
So
I can
I'm about
handle
to gang up on you right now.
Clap. Open a clap. You have no choice.
I beg, I'll be fine. I think I can handle it. Let's go.
I,
Let's go.
and resident expert, let's just press pause on that. But somewhat I know some parts of the business, but not a resident expert.
Mhm.
That's what's up.
So,
So okay, go on.
really quickly, what's your take on City Arsenal's game? I know we saw it together, but what do you think about that game?
Oh man, I think like no Saka and no party.
No
There's
party.
no Arsenal is not working. And
Wow.
I think Arteta started with the young boys. He had Odegaard on the bench, Saka playing out the right, and for some reason this season I think Ake has been he has been a beast this season. He had Saka in his pocket the whole game. Saka could barely make any play. And I remember talking to another fellow Arsenal fan, my brother, and he was saying because Odegaard wasn't in the game,
Yeah.
Saka couldn't unlock the defense. And from what I understand with the Arsenal squad, you have about four people. Like you have Martinelli, Saka, Zinchenko, and Odegaard. Those are like the four players that can pretty much unlock teams, right? But for some reason, one person playing on the pitch at the same time at that time couldn't unlock Man City. But it was Arsenal played better overall. Man City, I don't understand what's going on with Man City these days.
Or maybe or Arsenal is just a better team now. I think
Arsenal, you know, the
you can
first time,
swallow your life. You can
please.
just
I don't. I see. This is. I'm not going to be biased right now, but I think Arsenal played better in that game.
yeah.
But Arsenal is not. I don't know if I would say Arsenal is a better team, but they're getting there this season.
Yeah. No, we're not a
So
finished product. You're right. You're right.
you're still. You guys are 3 years in. Man City is like how many years? Over 5 years
Yeah.
in. Abi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before you guys can get to Man City's level, there's still like you still need to make some additions in like key areas
Let me
before you
ask
guys.
you a question I asked Sean last week, or a couple of episodes ago. Do you think City will beat Arsenal both legs this season?
The funny thing is, I've had this conversation with Sheo several times, and I think
You think it's going to be what?
it's going to be Arsenal is going to win one game,
Okay.
lose one, and draw one. So basically, they've already,
Lost one.
they've already lost one. So
Okay. So okay.
you guys might probably win at the Emirates, and you guys can come back to this and either hang me or say I predicted well. But they might win at the Emirates and tie at the
Etihad. Okay.
Etihad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll take that.
I don't think City would overpower you guys, especially now that City has let go of
Cancel.
Cancelo. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did that hurt you to say though, or are you like you're not as biased as Sean? You don't hate Arsenal as much as
See,
Sean does.
honestly, I don't like Arsenal. I don't like Arsenal fans. But at the same time, the way I watch football is different from probably the way Shane watches football.
Yeah.
And probably the way you
So
watch
you're
football
mature
as well.
about
So
it.
I
You're
I
mature
can I
about
can chop my L and say yes, this is my L.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I appreciate the honesty. Sheo, you see, this is why Sheo and I we literally argue about everything because
I mean, that's why it's
Go
called
on.
biased football takes now.
There you
So
go. That's
you
true.
guys, you
Yeah,
guys are on different on both ends of the scale. So hey,
yeah.
No problem. Anytime I watch Arsenal, I'm always, even if it's under 21 or under 17, and it's Wrexham that's playing against Arsenal, I'm supporting Wrexham. I don't care. I'm always at the later end. Anyway, so
Yeah, let's
let's
move on.
let's move on. Let's I mean, you like to ask questions about how our guests started watching
Yeah.
football. So
Okay, yeah. So obviously I've known you for a very long time, but tell the audience, how you started liking football, how you ended up a United fan, how I used to school you back in the days. Give us some historical context about your love for the game and how you got to where you are now in terms of being a United fan. So
okay. Just for your listeners, Obina and I we go way back. We knew each other since primary school. Shout out to Nazareth. And back in the day, we used to play football a lot. Break time. Me and Obina, same team, different sides, socks, shoe, and just what do we even play with? Tennis ball. Back in the day, that's what we used to play with. But my love for the game started when I was very little. I started playing football first before I actually started watching. I never used to watch football as a kid growing up. And my first memory of watching football was probably around the time, or let me say the player that made me actually like football then was I just loved the way Quaresma used to play, Ricardo Quaresma. And this was probably between '05, '06. That's when I like actually had interest in football. And what made me like United was I think Ronaldo back in the day when Ronaldo first got into the team. And then again, United were, they were serial winners then. So obviously, I wanted to be on the winning side. Um, and then by the time I moved to the US in the 2010, that is when I actually started watching football like every day, or anytime there's a game. I was always like looking for, we didn't have what we have today, like the streaming stations we have today. So back then we used to look for, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this here, but we used to find all those pirated links, the illegal links and streaming links to start watching the game. So that's how I pretty much like the game. But I played first. I play more than I used to play more than I actually watch. But today it's almost I watch more than I play. So that's how my love for the game started.
So thank God for your life that you were surrounded by Arsenal fans in your house. I know that part. And
Yeah, I know your dad was an
God gave
Arsenal
you
fan, yeah.
He's a deep Arsenal fan.
deep
My
Yeah,
dad
Arsenal
and
I
my
fan.
remember.
brother,
I
they're
remember because
deep Arsenal
I
fans.
watched games with him. I remember.
Deep Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
And God gave you the epiphany not to be an Arsenal fan, because imagine you be an Arsenal fan all these years and not being able to tweet or post on Facebook that, oh, my team won the league or my team won Champions League. We thank God for your life.
The funny thing is, my brother would say, I was an Arsenal fan back in the day growing up,
Yes.
and then I went to school and went to secondary school, boarding school, came back, and I became a Man U fan. I doesn't know how that happened, but
The person that ensured that empty your case. You need to buy that person a special champagne.
Yeah, we had like very deep United fans back in secondary school. Very
Because
deep
we're winning
United
now.
fans.
We're winning.
Yeah, we are like
Oh
people.
my
So
God.
there's this guy that I knew that he just had like the whole gear from head to toe. Everything was he used to bleed red, United. So
There are people in secondary school like that, like they'll be carrying these clothes on their heads, and they're like, "Yo, you're just a kid, man." Like, nah, no, like no, but yeah,
and,
it was
and then
fun
the
time.
Arsenal fans were the people that used to be so pissed that time
Yep.
whenever Arsenal used to lose games. So
Yes,
they used
now
to be
they're
so
always
mad.
angry. They're always
And
angry.
I always used to claim neutral because I didn't want to like jump between.
Offend,
But
yeah.
eventually, I took United side.
United side.
Eventually,
Of course, and when you see a group of people always crying after losing, you want to go and join them.
No, I remember like there was a period where like these games used to get so testy, and I remember that Champions League semi-final where Ronaldo scored that free kick.
Lovely
Yeah,
free
and
kick.
that shot from like
Lovely.
outside, and I'm
yeah.
like, yo, this guy,
I think that was Porto, right?
Porto,
No.
yeah, again,
Yeah, but
Helton.
Yeah,
So he scored against Arsenal. He also scored against Porto, the 40-yard free kick
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
against
No,
that.
not free
No,
kick.
no,
Not
it
free
was a
kick.
shot. Like he got
Short,
it like
short.
just turned
Sorry.
around and
Yeah. Yeah. Helton.
Anyways, let's
Yeah.
move to the next stage. So can you explain to us what is going on with Chelsea? How
Yeah.
is Chelsea getting away with this whole I would say mess, but I cannot explain it.
I guess before. Okay, yeah. We can start off with that. Yeah.
so I think Chelsea was bought for how much? Like two billion plus. And from what I understand, they actually had more money, more free cash to spend. So that free cash that they had to spend, that is what Chelsea is actually using right now to fund all their transfers, from my understanding. And based on the way they bought players, I think Chelsea had they bought about how many players? They got over 10 players. Does anybody
They
know
have
the
about
action about
17 since
17 new
like
players?
summer. Yeah.
So the joke I have is I think they're trying to form an American football team. They're trying to
Yeah,
get
no,
with
for
that
real.
American football roster. Like that's what
For
they're trying
real.
to do. But um 17, if you say 17 players is a lot of players,
Yeah.
and they spent the most money right now. Chelsea alone has spent more money than I think I saw the stat today, maybe two different leagues. I think Italian
Combined.
and
Yeah.
Spanish league, not just individually, but the Prem has spent more money than any of the other competitions combined, all the other leagues combined, all the other top leagues combined. So just imagine how much money that is. I think right now they're about 600 million plus or something like that. And the way they are getting around it is, UEFA and in sports they have these FFP rules, financial fair play rules, and the way they've decided to go around it is they're giving the players longer contracts. Even if I think they bought Modric for about a hundred and something
Yeah,
million.
the Arsenal do want to pay.
Yeah, they got them for
Because we
for
didn't
for
need him.
for that amount. And what they did is they gave Modric about 8.5 years. So the thing is, in terms of financial fair play, the way they got around it is they amortize that payment, meaning they spread it out into different years. So what that means is if you spend like 120 million on a player, if you divide that by, and you give him an 8-year contract, divide that by 120 by 8, that's how much they're going to be paying on a yearly basis, even if they paid everything in front or they've spread the payment out. But the way it comes out in their books is to show that they are paying, a certain amount, 120 divided by 8 on
by
a
8.
yearly basis.
That's
So
crazy.
that's how they get through the financial fair play rules.
That's crazy. And I'm fighting here. I'm fighting here that how come United cannot do that? Because we need players. And I say United doesn't have money. Do this thing. Do the same thing.
Yeah, but man, United they're in a lot of debt. They have about almost 500 million plus pounds debt, if not more. And this is majority of what we spend money on is on our wages. Like there was this Deloitte Money League thing that came out like sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, where you could actually see the breakdown of what each individual team is spending, how
money
they
on.
are bringing money and how they are spending their money. And United was United has the team. It's a big club, and they're I think number 4 or 5, number 4 this year. They ended up as number 4 this year. And if you see like the wages, United wages were like ridiculous. So most of United's money goes towards wages, and we don't have money. We don't have money to be able to spend on this to bring in new players like that.
That's crazy. So I know Everton too. Everton is all over the place because we don't know what's happening. We don't even know the owner of Everton.
Yeah, Everton is another. But the funny thing, Everton ended up as they were in the top 20, right, of that Deloitte Money League, and like you said, they don't know who the owner is, or the owner is what's his name, Farah Moshiri. That's the owner of Everton. He's still there, but from what I understand, there is someone like Usmanov funding Everton right now, and Usmanov has put like some of his people in the board, so nobody knows if they're going to sell, if they're not going to sell. So there's still that thing where it's like nobody knows what's going on in Everton, and there's been like tons of protesting going on with the fan base. So we don't know what's going to happen with Everton in the next few weeks or few months.
They're going to relegate.
Oh yeah, 110%.
But like with Sean Dyche, you never know, man.
The thing is, I agree with Sean Dyche. I think for me, I think is they just brought him in just so that they can just stay up in the league. They don't even have plans to. I don't think they have plans to keep. They don't have plans to keep him for longer. Or they just, hey, just help us. I think they're 19th right now. Help us stay up, and if you help us stay up, maybe we might give you. You could go through like half the season. I don't even think they'll give him a bigger contract. Might just go through another half the season. And once they start losing again, they'll just get him out as quickly as possible.
That's what they always do. So this is what all these kind of clubs do. They bring somebody to save them. Of course, that is going to play like 9 men behind the ball. They survive the relegation. Next season, they play almost similar football, and the fans start complaining that we don't like the style of football. They sack the man. They bring in a progressive manager in quotes, and now one cannot, make those players play. I mean, he can play fancy football, but they start losing. They be like, we're losing again. They kick that fancy or progressive manager out, and then bring in the same man that took them out of relegation back into the fold. It's the same circle Same. And if Everton survives relegation this season, they're only pushing their days of doom forward, because next
Further.
season there's no way they will not survive it. They won't.
That's
If
a fair point.
they continue with this their style of this, their just this fire just doing anyhow, not having a concrete philosophy or having a concrete structure, yeah, they cannot escape it.
Well, that's a fair point.
They can
Okay,
escape it.
I guess my question is, as a United fan, what do you think of the ownership style of the Glazers? And are you one of those United fans who calls for them to sell the team because they're not investing in the team as much, or are you fine with the way they are running the club? And yeah, I think we can start off from there.
Say honestly, I don't think those guys have any. Those guys are just in the club, in the sports business, just to make money. They do not even care about United as a team, And every year they get like 30 million plus or something in dividends every year. I think last year was the first time they didn't take dividends because we're in a lot of
You're
debt.
bleeding. Yeah.
Just imagine a club in a lot of debt and you're almost like 500 million plus and you're still finding ways to pull 30 million every year. Come on. That is
The
really
American
bad.
way, though.
Yeah, it's business, but in terms of the ownership, I think what had happened was after Ronaldo, after that interview with Ronaldo and everything, and Ronaldo had to leave the club, right?
Yeah.
United stocks dipped so bad.
Yep.
And what they were trying to do, they were trying to stop the bleeding. So they just put the club up for sale. As soon as they put the club up for sale, everything went back. The stocks went back up. And in the past, like, how many months now? Almost like 3 months that the club has been up for sale. Right now they're saying they are letting people into the people that are interested. They have a couple of interested parties that they are letting into the what they call the data room. So the data room basically just gives you access to United's, to a team's like financial documents, like the background of the team. So from that, people that are interested in the team will be able to know the situation of, the financial situation of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So if the situation is so bad and you still want to put your head, that's your luck. So, but if it's really bad, that's the point where you can pull back and say you're no longer interested. But all those are very, very confidential information. So once you do that, once you decide you want to be in the data room, you have to sign like NDAs, obviously. So if you had to ask me, I don't think they're going to sell. Because United it's a big business. I don't think anybody in their right minds will sell the club.
I'm telling you.
Because I just think it's a very, very, very big business that if you sell United today, the valuation is about how much? I think they're saying 5 million plus, 5 billion. Sorry, not billion, 5 billion plus.
Yeah.
Imagine selling a club and making 5 billion on just one sale. Worst case scenario, they might give off some shares and just be like, okay, we're going to give you minority shares. But I think the people that are coming in, you have to be able to afford the club.
Yeah,
Is either you're willing to take on that risk of, okay, this club has so much debt, I'm willing to take on this risk. The 500 million, I'll wash it, and then you still need to think about, there's the fans have been complaining, or the players and the fans. Like if you remember Ronaldo's interview, he complained about the stadium and how the stadium is not up to standard, and how certain parts of the facility are not up to standard. So you have to think about the stadium, the training ground, everything that you need to fix, which is a lot of money. And then you also have to think about the wages, the high wage bill that United has. So I just think, left to me, I think if they can get someone that like a proper management team and restructure the organization a lot better, we can begin to move towards like profits, like yearly profits, and then eventually the club will be like healthier financially, and those guys will make their money and United will make their money and everybody will be happy, because that's all the fans really care about. I think the fans just really care, they just want like we want we want to be able to afford players. We want to be able to. We don't want to be able to be thinking about, okay, if you move shift, like make two moves, two
Go and
windows
get you end
ago
up with Weghorst after you
before
sell this person. And like Barcelona,
exactly.
for example, like I don't know if you saw in the summer, as part of, because they were really, really, in the dire straits, like they needed a lot of money, or they needed money because they weren't playing Champions League and to balance their books, and they were even like letting people use parts of Camp
This
Nou
for weddings and
for
stuff.
weddings and
That's
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, so I guess I don't know how much you know about Barcelona, but like how can a team that used to be such a wealthy and balanced team in terms of their books, how can they fall to the point where they literally have no money in their accounts?
it's bad management. Like at a point in time with the former CEO Ed Woodward.
Yeah.
Woodward didn't really care too much about the football. He didn't care about the on-field performances. All he cared about was how much commercial deals are making outside of football, outside the pitch. And if you look at United, look, all those years where United hasn't been performing, we're still making money.
A lot of
Yes.
money.
And that this way, like through deals. At the point in time, Woodward was they were thinking about, like, instead of, like, how you have like your brand deals, like your big brand deals, they're thinking about breaking it into smaller deals across, like, in different countries. Like
Wow.
in the US, you go partner with a like United will partner with a
With
with a
Walmart.
company in the US. Go to England, partner with somebody else. Go to Nigeria, partner with somebody else. So that's how the guy was thinking about pulling in revenue for the club. And he was a smart guy, but you need to win games to also make money.
To be able to be attractive to
Exactly.
prospective
To businesses and everything.
businesses and fans,
Yeah.
because in
Right.
the end, it's the fans that make up the teams, make up the
Right.
clubs, make the clubs profitable. If you're
Yeah.
not doing well, if you're not doing well on the field, there's no way you will make money
Exactly.
eventually, because you start losing revenues and stuff.
And like one of the latest thing, like the team viewer, I think we lost that contract, or we canceled the contract. United canceled the contract last year actually. Um, and they canceled the contract because I, losing games, all of that wasn't good brand for for team viewer. So they're just like, yo,
I'm actually fine with that.
we can't do this anymore, please. This your brand is not good for our own brand, and they just part ways.
Terminated it.
They
So
terminated the contract.
so how about Newcastle? How much did they sell buy Newcastle?
Man, Newcastle was bought at a steal, man. If I had that money, I would have bought Newcastle myself. Because the way they are performing now, man,
Yeah.
you would think they were bought for like $1 billion. Newcastle was bought for like 300
Yeah.
million,
That's
which
crazy.
was like a big steal.
That's Ronaldo's salary for 2 years plus
Ronaldo,
plus 100.
no, is that not like, how much does he make? 500,000 a week, right?
Yeah, no, he's supposed to make over 2 years. Supposed to make
Oh, you mean in Saudi?
in
Yes,
Saudi,
in
In
yeah,
total.
Saudi,
yeah.
I think it's on.
Nah,
Is it 250 or something like that?
yeah, about 200 over the course of 2 years, and
So
then yeah, it's
Ronaldo
ridiculous.
is almost Newcastle.
I'm sure. I'm
Newcastle is
sure.
what
I'm sure when Ronaldo is done in Saudi, he's probably going to come back and own a Prem club.
A
You heard.
team,
he
yeah.
should.
You
He
heard it
should.
here first.
He should.
In case this happens, I
He should.
predicted
Because that man has
it.
made money from off football, man. He should. He
Yeah,
should.
but yeah,
He should.
Newcastle. I think the reason why Newcastle went for that low. I mean, a club that has like history like that
Right.
shouldn't be going for that kind of amount. But the old ownership wasn't the
Yeah, they were
best.
doing pretty
Yeah.
terrible.
They were
You're right.
pretty bad. They were like, I think, almost in relegation before these Saudi
Yes.
guys came in, and or
Yes.
this is this Saudis or Qataris
Yeah,
before
Saudis, yeah.
before they came in and changed everything around. But right now they are playing like a squad that was bought for like over $1 billion or £1 billion right now.
Yeah,
So
So
where do you think they will finish this season?
man, it's hard to see, but at this point, with the way they are playing, maybe top four.
Hmm.
I
yeah, I
think
see ahead of United.
first and second, yeah, it sucks for me to say it, but Arsenal
Say
might
it, say
take
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
So buy your ticket to Emirates.
Say it.
buy
Thank
buy
you,
your
thank
ticket,
you.
but
Honest guy. Yeah.
it sucks to say, but Arsenal might take it. Like if you look at the buyers too, like Arsenal, their transfer this January transfer, as they bought like how many players? How many players you guys buy?
Three,
Two or three
three.
players.
Yeah.
So you got Jorginho,
Trossard and
Trossard,
Kiwikio, the
and
defender.
the defender, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And those are at least two of those players we know how they play. The third person that came from Spezia, is it Spezia?
Treasure, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I've never seen him play, but at least two of those guys we know how they play. Like Jorginho, he would work in Arsenal. It's perfect for Arsenal.
Very perfect.
It's
Beside
perfect for
Partey. Oh
Arsenal.
god.
Beside
Yeah.
Partey playing, at least Shaka can get a break once in a
Yeah.
while.
And even you can cover for Party as well. I mean,
And he could cover
as
for Partey
yeah,
as well. Exactly. Now that Partey is injured, right?
yeah, yeah. Or in Europa games as well. Although the Party injury is supposed to be his it's supposed to be his ribs, but
Yeah.
so nothing too serious. But even if
Mm,
he doesn't
But
have to play,
make it. I hope it's serious. So
look
mm.
at these people.
I cannot talk about Partey.
I hope it's
Look at
serious.
these people.
I can't talk about Partey.
I hope it's serious. But like I was saying, they've had like it's serious business. Like Trossard would give Martinelli a break, and Trossard can play anywhere on the front line. So if Saka is not performing, Trossard will move to the right. If Odegaard is tired, Trossard can slot in the middle. If Martinelli is tired, he'll slot in on the left, and he can even if you guys decide to play three at the back, he can play wing back.
Yeah, can I bring it back? Yes.
And so he's like as the game against United, man. I was like so mad when he came on. Like those his few like
His
how many
touches,
minutes was he on for his few touches, and you could see that yeah, this
yeah.
guy belongs in this team, you know. So that's why I think Arsenal will win. Man City will probably come second. Then United, I think United might be third, maybe. So
United
and then
third. I'm sorry, I can't
I,
take that.
I feel United will be third,
Ahead of
and then
Newcastle.
Newcastle can take their fourth place.
Yeah, Newcastle
Okay.
can. I feel Newcastle will make top 4 too, and I feel that again Newcastle is United's problem this season. I just feel so. I just feel that way.
One last question. I guess what do you have to say because of the way because back in the day teams used to be publicly owned. It's the fans that mostly own clubs. What do you? I mean, obviously it's profit driven now, but why suddenly was there a shift from publicly owned teams to like privately owned teams? What do you have to say about that?
I think it's just business, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It's all business. People see like especially right now, like the US investors have seen that
There's a lot of money to be made.
EPL, there's a lot of money to be made in EPL, and they don't think EPL is being marketed right. Like the marketing for like EPL should be like very big, but
Yeah.
the American investors think that man, you can do more with the marketing of the English Premier League. So why can't we come in here and show them how it's done? The way they do it in the US, like if they can even break like a 90-minute game into quarters, they will do it.
Right.
They will do it because they want to make money. They want to use those break times,
Good.
those to
Please
make
don't give them ideas.
No, no,
no,
no.
but
It's
it's
the truth.
true.
And so that
It's
brings me to my
true.
next question.
It's true.
So I wanted to bring us to this part of the conversation. No, honestly, like honestly speaking, when VAR first came out, I was telling my housemate at the time that I feel like these Americans during VAR break they'll introduce commercials.
They might
I told
start
him,
commercials.
yeah, I told him that
They
the
might,
guy was like, no, it can't happen. I'm like, no, on a
they
serious
might,
note, like this is where I see these people.
I won't be surprised if they start selling those
Yeah.
VAR
Yeah, and then they'll start
slots.
taking long to make calls. So now, and so here's my question to you, as our resident sports business analyst. Do you think that is ruining the game? Do you think that this major influx of money, while it's making the game more accessible in terms of people being able to watch it, is it ruining the on-field experience for the players as well as long fans?
I think we need to move with the times, right? And um, the fact that certain teams, a lot of teams have been hurt by
The pandemic.
wrong decisions
Oh,
in
decisions.
the
Okay.
past. Like you were talking about the VAR, on-field decisions. Like going back to, I think, was it England, that Lampard shot in that World
I
Cup
was talking about
World
Lampard.
Cup, yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking about
that came
Lampard. I was thinking
that
about
came
Lampard.
off. It came off. He entered the post, came off the bar.
Even
Was the
Henry,
bar,
even
yeah.
Henry using his hands
Yeah,
And
exactly.
against
So
to
Ireland,
be the
yeah,
ball
yeah.
in.
so things like that, we need to move with the times. Is it ruining the fun of the game? Yes, because like for us football fans, I want my team to score a last minute goal
Go and
that
celebrate it and
and
let's keep
celebrate it and
moving.
just let it end like that.
No, it is
But
Fergie now. You play Fergie kids, Ojoro bastard.
but like the other day, was it the FA Cup that Rashford scored that goal to make it 10 consecutive goals
Yeah.
at Old
Old
Trafford. The
Trafford.
first person to
Yeah.
do it, first black guy to do it. I was happy for him,
Black
but
boy joy.
yeah, but they took it from him because of VAR, which was obvious. That was a very wrong call, but VAR took it away from him. But overall, what in terms of like how does this change the game? I think for Prem especially, the money influx in Prem makes Prem more competitive. Like with Prem can afford whoever they want to afford. I mean, it's unfair to other leagues, but man, other leagues
Right.
go get they should go find like their sugar daddies as well that can help them grow their league. But Prem, we have like the nice Saudi sugar daddies, the
Qatari, the bunch
Qatari
of
sugar
American
daddies,
ones,
the Glazer sugar daddies.
Kroenke.
So the
Yes.
hair Kroenke too. So it's making the league more competitive. So I think it's good for the league, but at the same time, the fact that it's not spread across all the other leagues won't be able to afford as the same quality of players like the top teams can, the teams with money can. So it's still not balanced, but maybe eventually to get there when more money is being pumped into the league, or it might not get there. We don't know, but
Yeah.
that's my thought.
No. I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I obviously, football. At the end of the day, it's a money business.
Yep.
Even though, I mean, at least at the professional level, it's all about making money for the owners, and so I guess the clubs and players have to go unfortunately, have to go the direction that their owners demand that they go. So then, I guess one last thing, there were talks of the UEFA Super League last year, where you would have this elite group of 8 of teams that would never get relegated, and they would just keep playing, kind of like what you have here in the United States. What do you have to say about that? What are your thoughts?
I thank God it didn't go through.
I know.
Like
I know.
I thank God it didn't go through. Like we can't dream of, like, imagine Liverpool and Chelsea now, ninth and tenth, the mid-offs,
Yeah,
the
it's
mid-level
honestly
teams.
mid-level.
Imagine those two guys. They don't qualify for Champions League this year, but they are still going to be in the Super League.
Yeah,
Just imagine that kind of situation.
yeah,
Like it won't be fun for the other teams. Like, what do I have to play for? Like
yeah.
a Crystal Palace or a Brighton. Let's take Brighton for example. A team like Brighton or a team like Newcastle might even have the money to
Newcastle.
join the
Yeah,
Super League. But a team like Brighton, what do they have to play for? If every year they grow all these young talents, but these young talents cannot play in the Super League if they even make the top 4 positions, what
yeah.
does that have to say for them? So I'm happy it didn't go through. And I think it was a really bad idea, but the people that came up with the idea were just looking out for themselves and they just wanted to get richer through that whole Super League process. But thank God it didn't go through.
I agree too. I agree it didn't go through. I agree that it's a bad what's the word now? Bad idea. Because it
Yeah.
just feels like they want to circumvent after being bad managers, mismanaging their clubs. They want to find a way around it and bring in extra money into the fray. Especially those, say, Italian teams who
And
right now
yeah,
I feel other clubs just go into that place
and
and
pick
turn
up.
that place to turn them to to
Thrift
wholesale,
store.
thrift
Thrift store.
store, 50%
Tell
off.
everybody for cheap.
Or
buy
Honestly,
buy
buy
one
one,
buy
get
one
get
get
one
one
free.
free.
honestly.
Buy Pogba get who
Leao,
else really for free? Leao for free.
take Leao. All of them just come together and say
For
we're
real.
auctioning these players off
No,
because
this was a very informative session, Ayo. Sean was quite right that you are the resident analyst here, sports analyst, and so we'll definitely have you back on the show
Yeah,
to touch on more. Now we really enjoyed this. Definitely have you back on the show to touch on more I guess aspects of the game, including recruitment, player development, and how teams are set up to succeed based on their player recruitment and things like that. So yeah, we'll definitely love
definitely.
to have you back. Yeah. Any closing thoughts? And
Uh,
obviously, you have to admit that Arsenal is going to win the league, but I'll leave you to close out on that.
but we said this thing from the beginning of the season that Arsenal going to win
Let's
the league.
let's
But
closing
you
man.
don't want
closing
to agree.
closing thoughts. Arsenal is one of the three teams that has made 50 points from 19 games or 20 games this season. So congrats on and it's most teams that get to that level at this time of the season. You guys are already winners. So please buy that jersey that you've been
For
you've been
sure,
holding
for
off on.
sure.
Buy that jersey and customize it. What number is this? What number is the trophy?
This one is going to be. This will be our fourth, man.
Number
Fourth.
4. 4. Yeah, you guys are
Wow.
still. We'll call you guys baby Arsenal.
Fourth. Wow.
Baby
This will be number
Arsenal.
four. What?
Yeah,
Still calm down. What's wow? Why are you wowing? Calm
Wow.
down.
And you
but
guys have
but
you guys make the loudest noise.
if you guys don't win it this year, this is year 19, right?
Yeah, this will
If you guys don't win it this year,
it'll be yeah. 90 since the last time we won it. Yeah,
it's going to be tough for
yeah.
you. So I think wherever your juju man is or your pastor, you need to pray,
Or
pray hard.
Shaman. Or Shaman at
Definitely
Yaturi
not Pogba,
uses.
Sha. Definitely not Pogba.
No,
So.
you say Yaturi Shaman. Yaturi
Oh,
Shaman.
oh yeah, Pogba's guy doesn't work well, so you have
Yaturi
to.
zone. Yaturi zone is working. Because Pep no win Champions League. So Yaturi zone is working. Anyways, thank you for coming through on this episode. As Obina has said, we'll definitely bring you back. We'll
Yeah,
probably
thanks
have
for
a round table with you and your Samuel. Let's
yeah,
see. Yeah.
thanks for having me, man. This was a very interesting conversation
Yeah,
and pretty good
definitely.
questions.
Yeah, thanks. We had a good time, brother. All right. So I guess we'll then move on to what we do. Talking about what of the week. Why are you laughing?
Because my answer is funny.
What's your answer? Let me hear.
My answer is still Liverpool. Like, how you
Oh,
want to escape Liverpool? It's still Liverpool.
yeah. You see Joe Gomez twerking, literally twerking on the pitch.
It's still Liverpool.
I made my guy twerk on the pitch, man.
I think at the 74th minute, they showed Trent's face on the bench. You can see that the man has been through it. That man was gasping for his life. Like, God, I only want to play football. I don't know why this happened to me. Like, it's crazy. I'm tired of calling. So, since we started this podcast, our worst team of the week has been Liverpool.
It has been Liverpool, man.
Back to back to back. Like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah, no.
even Chelsea that is bad, they're still like, okay, we're still trying to like get better, win odd games here and there. But come on now, Liverpool, please.
well, Liverpool they've been terrible. They've been terrible this what's it called this season, and I don't know. Obviously, they seem to have Jimmy Carragher keeps talking of how they need to keep Klopp, but
That guy is very biased. Very biased.
I mean, aren't you? No, but the thing is, like, I think everything in life, is cyclical. So I think they've come to the end of the cycle, and I think it's time. Obviously, I say this as someone who doesn't like Liverpool, so I actually don't even like Liverpool or club. But I think that eventually they have to answer the question of if Klopp should stay there. Personally, if my own bias take is that he shouldn't leave. I think that they need to just invest as a club. But as a biased fan who wants to see the club suffer, I think they should sell. They should let Klopp go, man. They should sack the guy.
Okay, do you know my honest opinion?
What is your honest
I
opinion?
feel they should sack him. This is my unbiased
Damn.
opinion.
Why?
Reason being that the way Klopp plays,
Mhm.
you need certain type of players to play that way.
And so why can't they back him?
cannot
Why should they back him?
wait. So you cannot make a regular player play that intense football just because Klopp is the manager. You have to like be very, very meticulous with picking those players. So what's happening right now is even when you get those players, it's still going to take a little while for them to gel. So that's the thing. So if they still keep him to like maybe like next season or next 2 seasons, they're just pushing the inevitable, and there's no way they will get out of this funk. Like I honestly don't think they'll get out of this funk. I think they are just done. They're done. But keeping him, I want them to keep him because I want them to continue this way.
Because it's the struggle, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, knowing the guy, I mean, yeah, I guess he has. Unless he has to reinvent himself. Then going based on what you're saying.
It's not really about reinventing yourself because I remember a lot of people saying that about Mourinho. Because the thing is, most of these managers are set in their ways. So what they usually do is what has worked for me in the past, why is it not working for me now?
Right.
So you really
which one I'm saying like he needs to reinvent. The thing is, the most successful coach in the Premier League, which I mean I don't like to admit it, but it's Ferguson, right? He reinvented. I mean, the way Fergie used to play wasn't the early on. Wasn't the way he played in the middle. Wasn't the way he played towards the end of his tenure or his managerial career at United, right? So that's why I'm saying like because football has been evolving, and this was the issue that Wenger had. He did not, evolve. He didn't reinvent himself based on the way the game had changed. Mm-hmm. And so I think Klopp has 2 options. Either he evolves with the time because nowadays football is no longer as game press. I don't know that it works as much anymore. Like because people are really slowing the game down, passing it back and forth. So by the time you press so high, I don't know that players can sustain that for 90 whole minutes anymore.
There are players that can sustain that, but you just have to search
collectively.
Yeah, you have to just search for those players. Yeah. And right now, there are not many players that can do that. There are not many. That's what's happening to them right now. And I mean, I can say a lot about Ferguson, but no, I'm not going to say that because he's the greatest manager ever. So I'm not about to say anything about Ferguson. So what you just said about reinventing himself, I will agree with that.
Anyway, let's
predictions to
head into predictions for the week. So, the first game this weekend. So, wait, sorry, I'm being man. This Texas cold. I don't even know what's going on, but the games for this weekend are
Chelsea Fulham.
Chelsea Fulham. That's the first game. What are your predictions?
I honestly, I think that game is gonna be. I think Chelsea's gonna win this game. I think they'll win the game.
Scoreline.
I see. That's the problem. Are we going to talk about scoreline now?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
2-1,
yes.
2-1, 2-1.
Me, just to make things spicy, I'll go with Fulham 2-1. Yeah, I need them I need. First of all, that Enzo Fernandez and Mudryk. I need to see them struggle. Like,
no, they will not struggle. Those players will not struggle. They won't forget. Just forget.
I need them to, but that's fine. So you said Chelsea 2-1. I said Fulham 2-1. Everton, Arsenal.
There's no for talking about that one. Arsenal is winning.
No. Give me. Arsenal
is winning. Arsenal is winning. Arsenal probably win maybe 3-0 or 2-1.
Okay, good. No. They're not scoring us. I say 3-0.
They will score you guys.
Villa, Leicester.
So these 2 teams. Okay, I'll say 2-2.
No, I'll say Villa 2-0.
Okay.
Villa because they are home. Unai Emery, they're starting to have.
Unai Emery, I keep forgetting about this man. Okay. I'll change my prediction.
I'll go.
No.
Twice.
I'll go Aston Villa 2-1.
2-1. Okay, that's fair. Brentford, Southampton.
Brentford to win, but Southampton that's not unpredictable.
Yeah.
I'll do 2-2.
Yeah, I was going to do a draw as well, 1-1. Come, it's not fair that you go first, Jerry. Now, lie.
Oh yeah, go
So,
go next. Go with this
Brighton,
one.
Bournemouth. Yeah, I give Brighton 3-1.
Of course, between Mitoma
Yeah.
and his thesis on how he's dribbling people.
How to dribble and
Dribbling people. Brighton,
3-1.
yeah. Brighton to win maybe like 3-1 or 2-0.
United Palace.
We're winning this one 2-1.
I give Palace 2-1.
Okay.
I give Palace. Wolves, Liverpool.
Wolves are playing rubbish. And Liverpool know how to beat Wolves. It's going to be very tough. Jesus Christ, Liverpool. I don't even know what to say. 2-1 Liverpool. God help me. 2-1 Liverpool.
I give Wolves 2-1. I need Liverpool to continue to struggle. So yeah. Newcastle, West Ham.
Newcastle is going to beat West Ham 2-0.
Yeah, sounds
There's
about
no
right.
hope.
Yeah,
There's no hope for
it
them.
sounds about right. Yeah, and I also need that Newcastle clean sheet for my FPL. So yeah.
That's why I don't play FPL.
All right, and then Nottingham Forest Leeds.
This game is very interesting.
Yeah, that's a tricky one actually.
Yeah, I think this is going to win. Because not Tottenham Forest, I don't know. They're just all over the place. They have only one player that's been very good. So I would say Leeds 2-1.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Actually, I'll go with 2-2. I'll go with 2-2. Leeds, they concede goals, so yeah. And then Spurs City.
So this game, I have a feeling Conte might want to learn from his lessons, but City will still beat them.
City will
So it's
beat them.
2-1. 2-1.
I'll go City. I think, yeah. I'll go 3-1 City actually, just so I don't agree with you. And also, I need
They
Haaland.
will defend better. Supposed to defend better this time around, but they will
Well,
lose.
I still say City. So, because from now on until the end of the season, because of the World Cup, there will be a lot of games coming in thick and fast. So, our next episode should be out before the United Leeds game, and so we'll do the predictions then because that's on a Wednesday. So, yeah. So, well, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. We found it very, very informative. Shane, I hope you've learned a thing or two about sports business. Shane, luckily, United they don't have you running their finances. Otherwise, they will be struggling more.
I'm not really a financial person. When it
Yeah.
comes to administration and ideas, sport ideas, I'm up there. Anyways, guys, remember to follow us on Instagram, bias_football_takes. I don't know how Obina created that using too many underscores, but it's 30 plus. 30 plus. It's showing. It's showing.
No, you have to differentiate that because, anyway, we have to look for a unique name.
So many underscores. And remember to follow us. Remember to stream on all the podcast platforms. And we're also on TuneIn. So Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And we're about to create a Twitter profile or Twitter account. So you can also banter us on that too. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Until next week, enjoy the games and see you next week.
Remember to support United.
Oh my God, Arsenal, please. Arsenal, enjoy the game.
Bye-bye.
All right. Easy.